In project setup, we use the npm run tool window to double click on test and run our just tests in a run tool output window. And this works pretty well. If I make a change and save, then I see that my tests fail in this rather simple UI. In this step, we're going to use visual testing using a run configuration of jest type built into the IDE. So I'll stop this and I will go to my run configurations, edit, to add a run configuration of type jest. And the only option I'll add is to watch all changes and apply. And now when I make, for example, some changes and I want to run them, I'm running a jest run configuration in the testing, visual testing UI that we have in the tool. And what that means is, for example, if I have the window closed and I want to jump directly to the test that has the error, it will open the file on the line of the failure. And now if I change this back to 1 and save, then everything is green and my tests are good. When I'm in testing mode, TDD, test-driven development mode, I like to have my source code on one side and my test on another. So let's close some of our windows, and I'm going to use the command to split vertically since I'm not doing tabs. And on the left hand side, I'm going to open the code that I'm running my tests on and then collapse the project tool window. Now I've got the code that I'm testing, the tests that I'm running, and the test output all in familiar locations. Jest has a companion library called Enzyme from Airbnb that makes it a lot easier to do your test assertions against Jest. And I'm going to install what is needed for npm dependencies for installing Enzyme with React and the associated TypeScript typings for that. To get Enzyme used by Jest and React, I need to create something called a setup.test file in the source directory, which is where it looks for it. So I'll type setup.test.ts, a TypeScript file. I'll add it to source control. And once I have this in here, then Enzyme will automatically be added to all the tests that I write. This is to work around a bug in the TypeScript compiler. So back to my app, and then I can write a new test to try and test the rendering of the heading. I've pasted this in and we see we have one error that we haven't imported shallow. I'm going to let the IDE do this for me with Alt-Enter. And then the import was added from Enzyme. I haven't set my quotation marks yet in the project, so I'll let the IDE do the conversion for me on that. And now when I run, I'll go back to the tool window. When I save and all this runs, we have another test runs that completes, that goes and tries to get the H1 for React. And this likely needs just a restart. And now my tests are passing. With this in place, we can see TDD in action. For example, if I change something in the heading, then when my tests rerun, it says that the tests fail because it didn't match what it was supposed to match, and it tells me exactly what the error is. Put it back, my tests pass. Then imagine that I want to have a paragraph. I'll write the test first. The test will fail, which is what we want. That's good that the test fails. But it also means we need to add in a paragraph to get the test to pass, because we were expecting to find a paragraph with the text to be nice TDD.